How did an American Airlines plane and a Black Hawk helicopter end up in a tragic crash while the plane was attempting to land on runway 33? In the videos ahead, we'll take a closer look at the final hours leading up to the crash, the confusion between the PAT-25 VIP military helicopter and the air traffic controller, and how the rescue operation is being carried out. More details all in the video ahead. The plane had departed from Wichita Dwight D. Eisenhower National Airport in Kansas earlier that evening. A PSA Airlines aircraft, operated under American Airlines and identified as Flight AA5342, collided midair with a military Black Hawk helicopter at approximately 9 p.m. on Wednesday, January 29, 2025. The tragic incident occurred as the plane was making its final approach toward Reagan Washington National Airport in Arlington, Virginia. American Airlines confirmed that 64 people were aboard the jet, 60 passengers and 4 crew members, while 3 soldiers were aboard the military helicopter. This plane's radio transponder stopped transmitting about 2,400 feet, which is around 730 meters short of the runway, roughly over the middle of the river. This has marked the first major U.S. commercial crash in more than 15 years. From an aerial perspective, it is evident that Flight AA5342 was approaching the airport from the south, descending over the scenic Potomac River. This area is known for its proximity to several iconic landmarks, such as the Pentagon, located nearby in Pentagon City. To the north, one can spot the striking dome of the United States Capitol building, a symbol of American democracy. The Potomac River, which encircles the airport and much of Arlington, serves as a natural boundary and offers breathtaking views for arriving flights. However, this area is also densely trafficked, both by air and on the ground, adding to the complexity of air traffic management in the region. American Airlines Flight 5342, which we'll refer to as the landing flight, was on its final approach to runway 33. At this stage, called short final, the aircraft was mere moments from landing, flying at an altitude of about 400 feet. This is the most critical phase of landing, where every second counts and pilots are laser-focused on safely bringing the plane down. At the same time, an Army Black Hawk helicopter, identified as PAT-25, was reportedly on a possible training flight. It was flying perpendicular to the flight path of Flight 5342, following the course of the Potomac River. The Potomac River is a designated flight corridor for helicopters, and it's common to see aircraft like this operating in the area. The key difference between the two aircraft in this scenario was their operating rules. The Black Hawk helicopter, PAT-25, was flying under visual flight rules. This means it was required to rely on visual observation of its surroundings to avoid other aircraft. The landing Flight 5342 was operating
I'm telling you right now, something is seriously wrong. An American Airlines passenger plane went down last night after colliding with a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter. I have family who is very high up in the Air Force. Literally, here's a picture of me at the base in Hawaii last Christmas. And I also have friends who are cabin crew at American Airlines. And here's what people are talking about that no one is telling you and why this is extremely alarming. Before we get into all of that, let's set the stage. American Airlines regional jet Flight 5342 was coming in from Wichita, Kansas, preparing to land in Ronald Reagan National Airport. Just before touchdown, it collided with the U.S. Army UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter right over the Potomac River. As of an hour ago, the search and rescue mission has officially been changed to a recovery mission because they no longer believe that there are any survivors. So far, 29 bodies have been recovered from the plane and 1 body has been recovered from the helicopter. A total of 67 people were on board both aircrafts, including a U.S. national figure skating team that was coming back from a competition, 2 of whom were former Russian national champions. So these are the facts, but what I'm about to tell you suggests that this is more than just a tragic accident. Let's not forget that this happened on approach to our nation's capital. Here's what I've been told from my family that's high up in the Air Force. 1, a collision at this altitude in this airspace is extremely rare. There are multiple layers of traffic control whose entire job is to ensure that things like this do not happen. 2, collisions at night almost never happen. Every aircraft is equipped with anti-collision lights, strobes, and traffic collision avoidance system, which would have warned both pilots of an incoming threat. 3, not all airspace is created equally. The area around DC is Class B airspace, which is the most restrictive and controlled airspace in the entire country. This is not a place where aircraft just happen to run into each other. So now here's my take. Donald Trump, our president, got on Twitter this morning and said, and I quote, "This looks like it could have been prevented." So is this a case of hiding in plain sight, a cover-up, or truly just an accident that shocked everyone? One thing is for sure, this is suspicious and we should not ignore it.
Go ahead and call me crazy. This is a jet. This is a helicopter. Watch. Why is this important? A Black Hawk helicopter flew into a commercial jet over the Potomac River in Washington, D.C. Oh, it was just an accident. It was just an accident. I'll die before you convince me of that. Come at me, bro. Why don't you think it's an accident? Let me give you a little backstory on this. I don't know who was on the plane. I don't know who was in the helicopter. Okay, what I do know is that in that area of the Potomac River, it's common for helicopters to fucking fly around. They're supposed to stay at or below 200 feet AGL, which is above ground level. That helicopter collided with that plane at 350 foot above ground level, somewhere it was not supposed to be. The airplane was in a landing pattern coming into the airport with its landing lights on. And you mean to tell me that the super crazy high amount of technology that's in this military helicopter, and with the pilots flying under visual flight rules, that those two pilots, there were 3 people aboard the helicopter, that those 2 pilots didn't see that fucking plane and they didn't try to avoid it? You mean to tell me that those highly trained, highly skilled pilots didn't see that fucking plane? That's not even why I'm questioning all of this. This is where it happened. Who's this guy? That guy right there is this guy. This guy flown by the Air Force. What's the significance of that? This is the plane I'm talking about that landed at Andrews Air Force Base just next to where this shit happened. Why was a Boeing E-4 known as the Night Watch or the Doomsday plane, which is the militarized version of the Boeing 747 that serves as a mobile command post for the U.S. military and is a key component of the National Military Command System, which is designed to survive a nuclear attack? Why was that diverted right after this happened and then landed at Andrews Air Force Base right next to the Potomac River? Why? That's not suspicious. This helicopter had to have seen this plane. I don't know why. I don't know what led to it. Call me a conspiracy theorist all you want. That shit's weird.
This plane's landing on the fucking road! On the loop! Look!
Holy f***. Oh my god.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, whoever was in that truck.
Holy f***.
Turn away! Turn away!